It's the grandson of Right Thought. Welcome back to the School of Marvelous Light. Today, little flop. All of you who are parents should be able to relate to what I'm about to say. But even you who are not parents, you who have been around small children, toddlers and younger, are going to be able to relate with what I'm about to say. You all know that one of the most crankiest times of the day for the baby, the toddler, the little one, one of the crankiest times of the day for them is when? Of course, the obvious feeding time. But other than feeding time, what is the other crankiest time of the day? Somebody's saying the answer. I can hear you. Nap time. When it's time for a nap, babies get cranky. And you may even wonder when you see it. You may be like, oh, baby crying. You want a nap. She wants a nap. But why do they get all upset when it's time for a nap, little flock? That's what you may be wondering. Why do they get all upset? Why don't they just lay on down and everything and doze on off? I mean, sometimes that does happen. But there are other times when it just doesn't happen that way. Child get to getting all upset, get to kicking and everything. You didn't give him his perfect little teddy bear that he wanted. You gave him the wrong one. He's throwing that shit. You gave him the wrong sippy cup. It had the wrong color ring around the top of it and everything. You gave him the green one instead of the yellow one this time. You putting him down because his mama had to go do something. He wanted his mama to do it. Oh, man. No matter what you do, that baby just seemed to be cranked up. Right, little flock? Y'all know what I'm talking about. Well, when did that ever change, little flockulators? What the grandson saying? What I'm saying is, when did that propensity ever go away? For us to become cranky when we get tired. To get to screaming, crying and everything, snot running on down. Lip quivering and everything. Whoa, what are you all upset about? Just go to sleep. Well, like I said, when did that ever change, little flock? Well, it didn't. I'm here to tell you that it didn't. When we get grown, we still have that same propensity, like I said, to get upset when we get sleep deprived, when we get tired, when we get sleepy. You see that, little flock? Now, this is also going to be made clear about what I'm about to reference to you out of the scripture. Remember when Yahushua was in that garden and he was praying and he asked a couple of his brothers to pray with him and they kept dozing off? Yahushua was like, dang, man, y'all can't watch 1 hour with me? Y'all remember that? And he just kept dozing off. He said, go ahead on and take your sleep. I know y'all tired. Go ahead. You see that, little flock? Well, that means there comes a time when the temptation comes. At that time, weariness sets in. Uh-oh. Hope y'all can hear what the grandson is saying, because wisdom is crying in the streets. She's speaking. Can you hear her? When the time of temptation comes, it will also come when you're weary from sleep deprivation is the word we use it. In other words, you haven't had any rest. That's when the temptation comes. Why? Because you're weak when you're in that state like that baby is. You're cranky. You're irritated. Can y'all hear that? You're not calm. See? Like the baby is not calm when he hasn't gotten his damn nap. That's why he's all fidgeting and crying and ain't nothing right. Nothing can be fixed. You just need a nap. Then to be fixed. Well, that's what you need, little flock. You just need a nap. Now, what was Yahushua doing when the storm came on that ship? Was he taking a nap? That's what it said he was doing. So do you see what the grandson is saying? You see how the grandson ain't playing? You see how the grandson just slaying? Can't you see it? He was asleep. But they were what? Frantic, screaming and crying. See what I'm trying to say to you? Can y'all see it? So when you feel frantic, like screaming and crying, what do you need? Go ahead on and say it. I need a nap. Because that's all you need. You need a nap. Now I'm going to tell you what a nap is so that you ain't confused, thinking that that just means to go to sleep. Just like death don't, when y'all just said that girl to sleep, they said she's dead. What do you mean sleep? That's how I'm talking to you right now about taking a nap. Y'all hear me, little flockulators? Hold on, y'all. That's how I'm telling y'all about this, taking this nap. Now, what do it mean to take a nap? What is the grandson saying? You're sleep deprived. You are deprived from going into that secret place, which requires you to close your eyes and look as though you're asleep. Because when you do that, we call that meditation. Now, a lot of Christians, when they hear that word, they get all up in arms. Wait a minute, you're talking about some new age stuff. New age? All I got to do is go right to Genesis, talking about new. Go right to the oldest book that's in there. Well, I would say the oldest, but the first book in there, Genesis, and we'll say, what does it say right there about meditation? Isaac went into the field to meditate. So then Isaac was meditating. Was Isaac wicked? Is that what you're trying to say? Oh, I didn't know Isaac meditated. Well, he did. It's right there on the page. Read it. Oh, yeah. All right then. So if the forefathers did it, don't you think that you should do it? If you're a child of Abraham like Isaac was? Oh, yeah. So that's the nap the grandson's talking about. In order to meditate, you have to take a nap from the world. You haven't been taking a nap from the world. You've been so bogged down in it that now you're crying, kicking your feet, looking for a sippy cup, a blanket, and a SpongeBob teddy bear. Sucking your damn thumb. Because you ain't took no nap and separated from the world and went to the secret place and claimed what you wanted, which is what? Peace, be still. Now, when the baby starts to take a nap, what happens in that room? Does great calm come over that room that was so hectic? Yes. So do you see how the grandson is lacing this together like a beautiful tapestry right before you all today? Can you see it? Once the baby finally drifts off to sleep, then everything gets calm. And you're looking at that same baby like, you little hellion. 5 minutes after the baby sleep, you little angel. I mean, it's so silly. Just a second ago, you were about ready to sling that baby around the room like a rubber band. Now all of a sudden, he's a perfect sleeping little darling. Yeah, I know. 2 states of being. Now, which one do you prefer? Y'all know good and damn well which one you prefer. Soon as that baby finally go to sleep, you be running out the room celebrating this shit. You be closing the door like a ninja. I mean, you be literally moving like your ass ain't even in that room. You be moonwalking out of that room so you don't wake the baby up. Try not to flash a light. Try not to flash your flashlight on your phone. Try not to let nobody ring on your shit while the baby's right there. Try not to do anything to disturb that baby, in other words, and you know that's right. Why? So you can preserve that state that he's in. What state is he in? Calm and peaceful. So what is Abba trying to preserve for you? Come on! Just like you feel all hectic and running around when your kid's all hectic and everything, well, how do you think you make Abba feel? Well, let's see what he says there. You guys are murmuring and complaining, and now I'm going to kill all of you. See what I mean by how you were like, you little hellion? Yeah, Abba said I'm going to whack all these Israelites because they keep complaining against me, murmuring, crying out, screaming in agony like nothing ever is ever going to go right for them. Because they don't do what I tell them to do, which is to rest. What is our power as Israelites? I've told you what it is. Now, if nobody ever told you this, then they ain't told you shit about power, because I'm going to tell you what it is. The power of the Israelite is to stand still and to see the salvation of I am. That's his power. Now, if anybody has not told you that, yet they say they're teaching you something about God, then they ain't taught you shit. Because I challenge you to see if it lines up with what I have told you, what the power of the Israelite is. Yeah, you're going to have a hard time trying to say something other than what I'm saying. And if you say something other than what I'm saying, I'm going to challenge you to a duel, and I'm going to win. I'm not worried about that because you can't beat what I have. The Bible told me that. It said, greater is he that is where. I ain't got to say the rest for those who know, because I know the rest. That's why I'm walking around acting the way that I act, feeling the way that I feel. Because as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. What does joyfulness look like? Do you know? A person that's free is joyful, and I'm free. So I joyfully spread this good news that I have been privy to that keep me free. Like resting, little flock. This is what the world is not telling you. They are all about work out there in that world. Work, 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 work. That's all they're about. Yes, you need to burn this sage 7 times a day and say ashe, ashe, as you put the vapors throughout the room and cleanse it and say, I am now cleansing my space of all negative energy and everything. And then you must take a quartz crystal dangling from a medallion as you swing it around your finger 22 times, saying the words, I am going to look at this stone, and this stone is going to provide me with an idea as it speaks to me in my ear and all of this other nonsense. Do y'all hear what the grandson's saying to you? Yeah, that'll make you powerful. I don't know why. I'm just so stressed out. Yeah, you need to clear the energy out of your house. It's in you. So what do you need to clear out your house, you said? Y'all love cleaning it outside. Like I said on my last message. That proves you don't know what you're talking about when you start talking about cleaning the outside of the cup. Because what should a man do? I'll ask anybody right now. What do you think I was more concerned with? Your outside of your cup or the inside? And you all have to say the answer is the inside. So then what should a preacher be telling you to clean? What should a pastor be telling you to pay attention to? What should a shepherd be telling you to watch for? Something outside of yourself or something inside of you? Well, you know what I done told you. How come they ain't telling you that? How come they're telling you about outside stuff? Because there's some outside niggas that don't belong to this inside tribe. You ain't inside the temple. You ain't in the ark. You're on the outside. It ain't a whole lot of people in the ark. There's a whole lot of people on the outside of it, though, that don't know and ain't privy to what I'm telling y'all today. Isn't that true? Isn't this strange, this doctrine? Isn't it strange, this preacher? Well, there's a reason for that, like I told you, because I'm preaching strange things. I'm not preaching the same thing that everybody else been preaching, am I? Nope. 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 So now, like I said, there's a place, and that place is within you. And if you neglect to go in there, then your garden will be overrun with weeds. Now, how would a gardener feel when he walks into his garden if it's all overgrown with weeds? He's going to do this. See why you're doing that? Just told you why you're doing that. You think that made you do this. Nothing goes right for me. See, it's that thought that's making you feel that. You thought you felt that feeling, and then you had that thought. Thoughts come before feelings, baby. So you already thought nothing went good for you. That's why nothing did go good for you. And then you said it with your mouth. Because you judge outward appearance. You proved it. You prove and you judge by how things go outwardly. Yahusha was asleep. So then how come you're not? So how come you're crying? Because you don't take a nap, baby. See what happens when you don't go to sleep on nap time? You get all cranked out and cracked out and dumb. You get to acting all silly and crazy. You be looking at that child like, you ain't done crying yet. You still got some more crying to do. Now I got a question, little flock. What takes the baby out of that calm, peaceful state that you work so hard to get him into it? What takes him out of that state? Something from within or something from without that baby? Well, all that ninja stuff I told you was doing, that moonwalking out the room and everything, sliding your feet and everything so that you don't make no noise on the way out, is so that you don't disturb him from that calm, peaceful state that he's in. You see that? Because you know that if you disturb him, what's going to happen? Ruckus, chaos is coming. So then consider yourself. That's all you got to do. When the ruckus and the chaos have started to come inside of you, that is a clear-cut sign that you have not slept. Like I was telling you guys. And especially if you don't know that you need sleep or you don't know how to sleep, then how can you? Yeah. And people think this is not, I'm being dramatic by saying people don't know how to sleep. Okay, I'll use a person that I know as an example. There was a woman that I knew. She's not around anymore. And let me tell you how things were when she was around. I would be in the car, in the passenger seat of this woman's car, and she'd be driving after laboring all day, doing all kinds of different things. She would be driving, and I would glance. So I would see the car going over, veering over to the side. I would glance to see what she's doing. She's dozing off. And I would say, "Hey, wake up! Shit! Hey, what are you doing?" And she'd be like, "Oh, you didn't know you were asleep? Oh, no, I'm good. I'm straight." That's what she would say. See, I'm all right. I'm fine. No, you're not. You're falling asleep at the wheel. No, I'm good. Okay. 5 minutes later, the car get to veering again. Hey! It got so bad that this became a running joke from all the people that knew this woman. They would all say, yeah, she'd be falling asleep driving. You'd be trying to tell her, let me drive. And she won't. She just refuses to believe that she's that tired. Well, I told you the woman's no longer here. She didn't even reach 50 years old, guys. So then am I being exaggerating by saying people don't know how to sleep? They don't even know that they need to? No, I'm not. Because this woman clearly didn't know how to rest. She didn't know how badly she needed to until she was forced to. By her body breaking down to the point where she couldn't even function anymore. She just laid there on the bed, damn near invalid. So am I being dramatic? No, I'm not. I'm telling you what happens. You have a breakdown. And all people are having breakdowns in one way, shape, form, or fashion. But they don't want the remedy, I guess. You don't want the remedy. Like that woman in that car, where I'm saying, hey, why don't you just pull over and let me drive? Do you ever think she did? No. You ever think she said, you know what, you're right, go ahead and take the wheel so I can get some rest? No, she didn't. So that's what she did with her life. She drove herself into an early grave because she wouldn't let somebody else take the wheel while she rested. She thought she was in control of things. And she found out how much out of control she actually was. And what a great humbling it took for her to see that. So that's what I'm trying to prevent from the little flock, what I saw happen in that woman's life. And I know this makes people feel uncomfortable, but I prophesied ahead of time that that was going to happen to her. And I told her loved ones that this was going to happen years before it happened, and then it did happen. And then they hated me and blamed me for it happening. Like it was my fault. Hey man, you're the one who said this is going to happen. It was a warning. That's what happens when you don't rest. What do you think happens if you go to the gym and work out, and never have a rest, never have any time to rest? Are you going to get any good results? No. Part of getting the good results is resting. That's half of the battle. But you guys don't seem to think so. So when you go to face a circumstance, what the grandson is ultimately telling you, when you go to face a circumstance, you don't do half of the work that's necessary, which is the resting. You don't do that. But if I asked Abba for something and I totally believed that I had it from him, then wouldn't I rest and be calm? Yes, I would. See what I'm saying? Now, how do you like your house when it's nice and calm? You already admitted it earlier in this message. It's wonderful. How do you like it when it's a big-ass ruckus and screaming and snot dripping and doo-doo diapers? How do you like it then? It's frantic, it's irritating, it's stressful and frustrating. Yep, that's what Abba says. Because his people won't rest. And you read the Bible, that's what you're going to find, little flock. His people will not rest. He says, I have offered it to you, and I told you to enter into it, but you would not. All day long I extend my hands, but you would not. It's always about you would not. Why is that, little flock? Like the woman I told you, let me drive. That's it. All day long I'm extending my hand to give you some rest, but you would not allow me to. I got it. People are doing that with their life when the wheels are falling off. That's what I'm telling you all. You won't simply just go into the secret place and rest for a while in the bosom of Abba, believing that Abba has already worked it out for you. Why won't you do that? It's only out of a lack of faith. That's the only reason the man wouldn't go in there and do what I'm saying. That will save him. The only reason he won't do it is a lack of faith. Now, when you read the Bible, what does God say about the people? Come on, little flock. This ain't hard to understand. faithless and perverse. What did Yahushua say? Shall the Son of Man find faith? How come it's always about that if what the grandson is saying ain't true? Because what I'm saying is true, little flock. He's looking for faithful people, a people that can believe something good for them, despite how bad it look. A people that ain't afraid with how it looked because they don't go by sight. And y'all all quote that scripture. All of you do it. You quote that scripture. Oh yeah, we don't walk by sight, we walk by faith. You can't even tell anybody what faith is, nor can you demonstrate it before anybody, nor can you give a testimony of how this works in your life. But you quote the shit, you say it to everybody, and you tell people to have a huge, abundant amount of it when you yourself are desolate of it. Not able to move a pebble, let alone a mountain. But what did he tell us we should be able to move if we had it? If we had a little bit of it. So what if you had a whole lot of it? What do you think would happen? To simply rest. You don't think your bills will get paid if you don't rest? So you'd rather risk your life crashing on the side of the fucking freeway to pay a fucking bill? That's where y'all at with the humans? That's how bad they got you scared? Scared for your life? That's how they've deceived you and duped you into believing that you owe man something other than love? You don't owe him no damn money. You don't owe him your damn blood and your sweat. All you owe him is that you love one another and take care of one another. And that's sufficient payment from one brother to another. Is that you pick up one another's burdens. Y'all talk about what y'all do. All of y'all talk about fasting. Oh, you need to fast. You need to fast and pray. Fast, 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 fast. And all a man can think about is not putting no food in his stomach. It's fasting. But when you read right there in the Bible, Abba told you the kind of fast that he's called us all to do, which is to let the captive go free, to let the oppressed go free, to take in the widow and the child, the fatherless, the orphan, to feed them, to deal your bread to the poor and the hungry, to clothe the naked. That's the fast that Abba wants. How many of you proclaim that in your churches today, huh? When you say fast, flock, fast, congregants, fast, and then God's going to bless us. He's going to rain down, and we're going to have a revival, and all this other fucking lies that you tell people. So focused on who's going to be president, who's not going to be president. Y'all niggas are a joke today. And I see why the world laughs at you all, because you are a laughing stock. While on the other hand, I'm a gazing stock, because I'm actually doing what Yahushua says. I'm actually living my life on his principles and his commandments. While you all say you keep his commandments and you do rudiments and you do works that you learned from Moses, so I guess y'all all be Moses' disciples. Well, I'll be Yahushua's while y'all continue to be Moses's. And you know why I'm Yahushua's? Because even Moses told me to be. So what about you? You just forgot that Moses told y'all to do that part, huh? But y'all talk about what Moses told you to do with your clothes. But y'all talk about what Moses told you to put into your mouth. But y'all talk about what Moses told you about eye for an eye and writing a bill of divorcement. Y'all heed to those commandments, but the one that's greater than he, you won't listen to what he said. From the beginning, it was not so. So how about y'all return to that? Oh, but y'all don't know nothing about coming back to the Garden of Eden, because you don't know the Garden of Eden is within you, that paradiso. You don't know it's within you. You don't know it. You're looking outside of yourself for something to make you glad. You're looking outside of yourself for something to make you happy. But I love Yahushua. I do what he says. I listen to every word that he told me. That's not true. That's not true. Told you. Nigga say he preaching about God. Ask him what God's name is and see what he say. Now I say his name is I am. Go ask that nigga and see if he said the same name I'm saying. Oh, grandson, I mean, he said a name that was a sound, and that name means I am. So then what name is he saying to you? But niggas want to say the sound without telling you what it means. And if you don't know what it means, then you can't utilize it. Can you use a tool that you don't know what it's used for? There's a flathead screw that needs to be taken out, but yet you grab a Phillips. Are you going to get the flathead screw out? No. So then, don't you think you need to grab the tool for the job? Don't you need to know how the tool works in order to use it? Haven't you ever seen a tool before that you didn't know how it worked, so you weren't able to use it? Yep. I see tools like that all the time. I see it, but that don't mean I know how to use it. And I can't make use of it until I know how to use it. Well, it's the same with this. It's the same with this. People try to talk about a tool, they don't even know how it works. They're a bunch of cavemen with 2 sticks. They saw me rub the sticks together and make a fire. They don't know how to make the fire. They just know if you rub 2 sticks together, you can make a fire. So they hold the 2 sticks up and tell you that. If you rub these 2 sticks together, you'll get a fire. You should ask that nigga to make one for you then. Since he says he knows, make a fucking fire then, nigga. And watch that nigga go, watch Quest for Fire. Watch that nigga scrape them 2 sticks together and struggle and not able to do it. Watch. Nigga was too dumb to know you have to spit on your hands first so that you can get a grip. He didn't know that. The caveman just was trying to rub the 2 sticks together because he saw somebody else do it. But he didn't know you had to spit on your hands first to get grip so that you can spin that damn stick around sufficiently. He didn't know that. So he just spin in vain because his hands can't get no damn grip. Oops, guess you're too dumb. Y'all hear me today, little flock? That's the reality of what's going on here. There are some real and there are some fakes, and there would be a time when they would be separated. That time now. So that's what you're seeing. You got to make a choice. That means the time of separation is now. That's what a choice is, separating. You can either hold on to a lie or separate and come into the truth. What will you choose? Now, the truth is, when you get sleep deprived, how do you act? Before I finish this message, how does it make you act when you don't get the right sleep? As an adult, it make you act just like that kid, don't it? Yep. Yep. You're not as patient when you're sleep deprived, are you? You're not as kind. You're not as gentle. You're not as understanding. You're not as friendly. So in other words, when you're sleep deprived, you're not as loving. So then you're not as godlike when you're sleep deprived. Nope, it forces you to focus on your flesh. Like Yahushua was telling them when he said the spirit is indeed willing, but the flesh is weak. So go ahead on and take your sleep. Y'all can't hear the grandson just do like that, I guess. Y'all can't understand what I just did right there? You got to rest in order to get the result that you want. So when you're working out, yeah, you can work the muscle all the hell you want to failure. After you have worked it to failure, you need to rest it until it's ready to work again. You can't just keep working it and working it and working it and working it, or you'll just die doing that. That's the carnal mind that tells you to work. The spiritual mind tells you to rest. Life and peace. Which one do you think is telling you to rest? What did Yahushua say he came to bring? Life and peace or some stress? What did he say? Oh, no, life and peace, Greta. All right, then. Shalom, Mr. Allah.